Hey everybody, welcome to the video, welcome to the channel. Today we got a little back road trucking in the Mac with the lowboy. We're hauling the D4G. Get out on the Interstate, where this guy happens to lose the ramp on his trailer, so that's kind of fun. Got a new implement for the tractor I want to show you. 755 gets hauled on Mike's trailer. I'll explain why. A good drone flight of a Mulzer's yard and how they offload their barges. I get that question a lot. And finish it all off with some awesome family time. But first, we're going to jump into this thing with a barge flight on the Ohio River. This is northbound. It's a little bit different than the towboats you normally see. As we come down this side, you're going to see a deckhand on that gray barge, which is always kind of fun to see the deckhands out and doing their thing. I think he was out doing his rounds or maybe just enjoying the nice day. It was an absolutely gorgeous day. We were able to get this flight. But we'll get a little bit closer to this towboat. I'll show you what's different about it. So you start to see as we get a little bit closer, that towboat looks a little bit different. It has what is called a flying bridge, or commonly referred to as a flying bridge. That wheelhouse can actually raise and lower. He's in the elevated position there, but can actually sit all the way down on top of that first level. And they do that just for clearance. Depending on what waterways they're running, they may need a little bit more clearance to get underneath bridges or that kind of thing. A little bit different. That was interesting and thought you might enjoy it. Now, I want to say something. Later on in the video, we've got some more pictures from Jeff White, who's a pilot for Blessing Marine. So we got that coming on the second drone flight, which is towards the end of the video. And we also talk about some new channel news and something I'm pretty excited about. So be sure to stay tuned for that. All right, so we were back in the Mac today. The other day we were hauling some concrete cubes on a gravel road and taking on a hill empty. You guys remember we spinning out on that gravel road. If you didn't see that video, check out this info card. You may want to go watch that at some point too. We're going to get around this corner, go into race truck mode, get down to where we're loaded up. But I want to point something out as we head down a hill up here. Okay, so this road and I have a little bit of history, and I'm going to tell you a little secret about the channel. It's not really a secret, but a little thing about the channel. I did YouTube about 6 years ago, and I did it for maybe, I don't know, just a few months. I dabbled in it. I didn't really understand what it was or how you're supposed to use it or what editing was. There are a lot of old videos when I used to work for Mike. I don't run ads on them because the quality isn't there. They look like they were shot on a VHS tape. But there is a video of this exact truck in that exact ditch hung up, coming up the hill loaded. So that's there if you want to go look for it. But you noticed on the way down how much the hood was bouncing. That's because of how bad the washboard is on the hill. It's a very steep hill. Plus it's got the 90-degree turn there. based on how rough that was, I decided instead of turning around and coming back up, I'm just going to tag 15 minutes onto the trip, play the safe bet, and head the other way out. So we got a little bit of a scenic drive after we get the D4 on here, head out to the interstate, and we'll go get this thing dropped off. So even though we're taking a safe bet here by going this route, there is still a long hill, but it's a straighter section of road, so it should be a little easier to pull and reduce the chances of spinning out on the gravel. Also, I loaded the D4 all the way to the front of the trailer to put a little bit more weight on those drives as well to help reduce the risk of spinning out. But I'll let you listen to the truck as we climb this hill, and then we're going to head out to the interstate. So we're getting ready to pull onto I-64 eastbound. This is the Bristow exit. This is 145 that we're on now. We're going to go eastbound on I-64, and as we pull onto the interstate, check out the guy that passes in the left lane. He's got a red trailer. He's got a little bit of a ramp issue. Dozer came off just fine, getting rearranged. I get back and you see the dozer sitting off to the side there. I figured I'd just back out. I thought I saw a nice spot to turn around on the way in. We'll get back to it here. This little asphalt tee, I figured right there is the perfect spot. The homeowner is now standing next to me, telling me that is in fact not the perfect spot to turn around. Gives me some instructions to go down this road, says there's a spot at the top of the hill. Sure enough, good enough. Get turned around, we're going to head back to Derby, and we're going to haul one more piece of equipment. Just go get this mower deck off the back side of the 755. By the way, in case you didn't know, I just bought this finished mower for the 755. I've always wanted one. It's a 6-foot mower. It's a Woods brand. It's older, but everything that needs to work works, and that's good enough for me. We have a mower deck for that tractor, but once you put the mower deck on a compact tractor, it is officially a lawn mower. You are done using that loader. I can't go through the woods with that deck on the bottom. It's just going to rip it off or tear something up, and I've always wanted a 3-point mower on the back. It's a little bit easier for me to use, and I can still use the tractor as a tractor. All I got to do is raise it up, and it's also easier to get on and off. Just personal opinion. So I'm pretty excited about that purchase. We'll get some more in-depth videos on it in the future. We may even paint it up John Deere green just so it matches, because why not? I got the paint. Now, back to hauling the John Deere 755. We're going to take this thing down to Mike's, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it once we get down by the trailer. Now, sure, Dirt Perfect has a Volvo 140 excavator, a John Deere 120 excavator, Cat D4G dozer, John Deere 850 dozer, Kubota SVL 90-2 skid steer, and he even has a John Deere compact 655 and 855, but he does not have the John Deere 755 with a loader and with an adorable 4-foot pulverizer, mainly because I bought that pulverizer off of him. But he asked if he could borrow it because a lot of his other stuff is out on jobs, and he just wanted to clean up around the basketball goal project. If you missed that, by the way, go check out Dirt Perfect's channel. He just did a video recently on doing a basketball court at the river camp. So he asked if he could use it, and when a guy like that asked to use a piece of equipment, as much as I use his equipment, how the heck could I say no to that? So we run it down there real quick, and then we're going to go get some drone shots of Moser's crushed stone in Newburgh, Indiana, and how they offload their barges there. So we are in Newburgh, Indiana on this shot. That is obviously the Ohio River then, and this is Moser's crushed stone. Clearly that's a stone yard, and all of their stone here comes in off of the river. We're getting some drone shots with the DJI Mavic Mini. A lot of people ask what I fly. That's what it is, the Mavic Mini. And yes, I absolutely love it. It's a fantastic drone, especially for a starter drone. If you're wanting to get into aerial photography with a drone, it is the way to go. We'll get a little bit closer to the riverfront after we give you kind of an overview of the yard, and then I'll show you how they get this stuff off the barges. So you can see they have a pretty elaborate conveyor belt system here. You can even see it has a little bit of a control tower, that little white shack sticking up in the air. And you'll notice they also have several portable conveyors sitting around the yard depending on where they need to move stone to. And they have, I think, 2 or 3 Euclid off-road haul trucks here to help move stone around the yard as well. And then, of course, they have a fleet of triaxles and quad axles for customer delivery. Now, they have 2 different ways to offload sitting here currently. And I say currently because they're both obviously on barges and can be moved to different locations if need be, because Homestead does have several riverfront operations like this. Now, that first one is simply just an excavator with a clamshell bucket on the end of it, and you'll also notice sitting on the deck barge itself is a wheeled loader, and that loader's job is just kind of keep everything consolidated while they're offloading. Kind of helps the offloading process go a little smoother. And you'll notice they even have some lifting bracketry on it so they can lift it on and off the barge with ease. Okay, so you can kind of see he's got a hopper there behind him. That's a PC 450, by the way, the excavator is. So you can see he's got that hopper there behind him, and he just takes that, puts the stone in the hopper. It goes down the conveyor belt system. The conveyor belt controller can then guide it where it needs to go in the yard itself, or they can belt it into the back of one of the haul trucks and then put it where they need to put it on the yard. Now, we're going to fly over to the next crane, and it's just a little bit different. All right, so we're going to fly over to this one, and this is called an E-crane. Says it all over the boom. They're pretty proud of it, and they should be. By the way, if you think that thing looks different, it is different, and I encourage you, go get on Google, type in E-crane, just the way it's spelled with the hyphen and everything, ecrane.com. They have dozens and dozens of videos on their website of this style crane in operation in many different applications, including some in-cab footage as well. So you may want to check that out if you think it's interesting. But the biggest thing about this crane is you see that large counterweight on the back. Whenever that crane goes out, the crane boom goes out, that counterweight tilts back as well, and it's supposed to keep everything kind of balanced. So a lot of people like to use it in the marine industry, but there's a lot of videos on their website. So if you think that looks interesting, I encourage you to check it out. Now, let's have a little family talk. You've noticed we've been adding some drone footage of river industry. Okay, so here you can see, look, there's a little fleet towboat. There's some of their extra barges tied up right now. Anyway, back to what I was saying. We've done a little bit of drone footage of river industry. Just because of what this channel started as, which is dirt perfect content and work around the homestead, and we do a few towboat flyovers, we're going to do something different, and I'm pretty excited about it. We're going to branch off onto a second channel. Now, Captain Kleeman's channel is going to maintain a few towboat flyover kinds of things, but when it comes to river industry like this, that's what the new channel will be. It'll be about this type of river industry, how it got onto the barges, how it gets down the river, and how it gets off the barges, to kind of tell the whole story. That's what we're going to try to do. It'll be a once-a-week video. I didn't want to clutter up the Captain Kleeman channel with a bunch of this stuff. That's not what the channel is really about. I do think it's interesting, and I love flying the drone and getting this type of footage, so I wanted to do something with it, and that's what we're going to end up doing. It's just going to be a separate channel altogether. Also, if you like this type of footage, you need to check out this Instagram account. I'll also put it in the description, but Jeff is a pilot for Blessing Marine. He's just started kind of dabbling with Instagram and filming and that kind of thing, and he has some very cool, unique clips from the actual wheelhouse you might want to check out. Also, we're going to throw up a few pictures here. Jeff sent up pictures of the boat that he's worked on before. Last time it was in dry dock, which is pretty cool to see a towboat from that perspective. Hope you guys enjoy those pictures. While those pictures are sitting up here, that truck's going to kind of get loaded, and that's going to be it for the drone flight. And then we got a little bit of family time, so be sure to stay tuned for that. Alright, so we're back at the YouTube Yacht Project site. If you're not familiar with that project, it's where we're going to build a rental cabin in the shape of a tugboat. There's not a big rush on this timeline. We're just kind of working on it as we work on it. But some big news on that. It looks like we'll probably get some base rock down next week, which is going to be exciting. And we have nailed down the tugboat that we're going to model this thing after, which is pretty exciting as well. We'll reveal that in a week or two as well. You'll see that the swinging vine we had out there, I cut the end of it off, put a rope on it with a board, It's a little bit easier for the kiddos. They seem to like it. We do have an actual swinging rope coming in that'll go from the top of the tree down, so eventually we'll eliminate the vine aspect of this thing, which is good because it's going to expire at some point. You'll also see in some of the clips, this one as well, you saw it on the side there, but we bought some walkie-talkies, and it was kind of gimmicky at first. We didn't really think we'd use them that much, but I'm telling you, that has been probably the nicest thing we've added to our little repertoire of homestead equipment, is those walkie-talkies that we can keep in constant communication while we're out doing stuff around the property. So you'll see those, and I just want to tell you that's what they are, so you know what you're looking at. Figured I'd get a little firewood split while we're out there as well, hanging out. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, I really do appreciate it. I hope everybody's staying positive, finding some reasons to smile and laugh and get by in this world. We do have a little wet firewood up by the barn I wanted to stack the next day too. It's just been kind of rainy here, and yep, I'm definitely wearing slides while I'm doing that. It's just kind of the lifestyle I'm living right now with everything that's going on. Like I was saying, thanks for watching, and as always, we'll catch you guys on the next one.